Artists like to associate the more you spend on materials, the better the art. However, I think for under $10, we can make pretty good art. So I was at this discount store and I found this watercolor set with a brush and a watercolor pad. And in total, I spent $9. So I have everything on that I need to create a landscape painting. So we're gonna go find a spot at this park and see how it comes out. I'm quickly going to unbox everything in here though, because I don't want trash flying around out in the park. Remember to take what you leave. No, take out what you bring in. That's it. $4 paper, we're gonna see. Smells like paper. Feels a little flimsy. But it's paper. For some reason, this watercolor set is cakes, but it comes with a tube of paint, and I don't know what color, it just says one tube. Looks kind of cool though, I'm not even gonna lie. Oh, this is scary. A tube of white paint. These are scary paints, and this brush is tiny. But we're only using it, so let's go find a spot to paint. I found the location. It's this building with all these pretty trees in the fall, so pretty happy with where I'm at. And first step, we're gonna sketch it all out. So everything that you see in this painting is going to be under $10. So that means the paper, the brush, and all of the paints. The only thing that I'm using of my own are the paper towels, the cup, the water, and a pencil. All of those things are relatively inexpensive, and most people don't have trouble acquiring a pencil or a cup to put water in. But paints and paper can be pretty inaccessible sometimes, which is totally not cool with me. So I want to show you that you don't need a lot just to create. The hardest thing about drawing anything with a geometric architectural building is just to make sure that it looks like it belongs. So that means drawing in perspective. So like, for example, this building right now is in 2-point, so I have to make sure that the pitch of the roof is going the right way along with all the walls. So double check your measurements. Easy way to check any angle when you're drawing is to hold your pencil out as far away as you can and hold it completely flat. Imagine that your hand is pressed against a wall and line up that pencil with the angle of what you're drawing and slowly bring it to your paper, and that should give you a pretty good accurate angle, and it should match up pretty well. And of course, you don't have to draw your scene at all. You can go straight into the paint. However, I am not a loose painter, so I have commitment issues, and I have to just draw it out a little at least, and go from there. All you people that can just go right into the paint, I applaud you. Done with the pencil, just gonna erase things just a little and then start painting. These paints are a little scary. I'm nervous that they're gonna be extremely dry and not a lot of color to them. I'm also a little nervous that the paper itself is not going to soak up the water or the color, and it's gonna be a little runny, but we're jumping in. I'm gonna start this painting like all my other paintings. I'm gonna wet the background. I'm gonna do a wet on wet technique to get blurry trees and just plop in a bunch of color. And then I'll build it to the front. Watercolors are all about layering, so I'm going to start in the background, do a wet on wet technique to get all those blurry trees, and then I'm going to work my way forward and just start building up all those layers. My fear is true. You have to put a lot of water on these little cakes just to even activate them, so that's what I'm currently doing. And what I'm nervous about this palette particularly is that there's not a lot of areas to mix. So I feel like my colors are gonna get muddy quick. The paper doesn't hold water like at all, so you have to move really quick. So this background I'm painting really, really loose. So while the background is still wet, I'm taking a darker brown and just kind of throwing in some streaks and some branches just to imply that there's trees in the background, but not really having to draw all of them. So I'm gonna start moving to the foreground, and I'm gonna keep it loose because this brush can't handle a lot of washes. So I'm just gonna kind of block in some colors and just keep moving. The colors aren't as bad as I thought, but it really comes down to the paper. I have worked with cheap paints before, check out this video, and you can manage the cheap paints because you can mix and you can water it down, so on. But the paper you can't really do a whole lot to. So If anything, I'd suggest save your money for better paper than better paints. If you are trying to get into painting on the cheaper side, I do recommend at least getting 2 brushes, a round and a flat. You'll get a good variety of both, and you can pretty much do anything with just those 2 brushes. These painting challenges are a lot of fun because they force you to think differently when you paint. So this one is making me think more loose and just making these snap judgments instead of just fixating on an area and trying to make it perfect. I'm just going quick, getting the idea out there. It is finally time to paint all the pretty fall oranges and yellows. I really messed that up. I painted way too much. Oops, 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 oops. Whatever, there's just a lot more leaves now. I'm going to attempt to paint this building, but this color is kind of hard to get because I don't have a good brown. I have a burnt sienna and purple and blue, so I'm trying to mix with just a touch of red, this nice, deep, burnt umber looking color. Overall, I think this painting came out pretty good. It was pretty hard to get the really darks and to match some colors exactly. These paints, specifically these ones, paint more like acrylics and it's kind of hard to get washes. And the paper doesn't really hold the paint very well. It kind of floats on top. And again, it paints more like acrylics. However, I did this challenge because I think art should be accessible to everyone. If you are interested in making art, do not let materials stop you. Go out and get what you can afford, get what you're interested in, and just try. The important thing is you are just out there and making art and you're creating. It doesn't take a whole lot to start making art, and I think everyone should have that opportunity if they are interested in it. So start with the cheap materials. Who cares? Don't let anyone gatekeep art to you. And then once you start developing your skills and get interested in something, that's when you start to upgrade and you look into and you research more. The important thing is if you have the drive and the hunger to learn, you will be successful. So go out there and start making art. Let me know what you think about this painting. I think it's a little different and I think it's pretty fun. And let me know what you want to see me try to paint or do next. But in the meantime, keep making art.